Welcome to CI in 5, a place to get energized by your favorite continuous improvement practitioners as they take on the challenge of sharing what continuous improvement means to them in 5 minutes or less and in 5 words or less. Think of it kind of like a kata geek going on a speed date. I know, right? This is gonna be good. Let's do this.
Dommartini, Salien, thank you so much for being on CI in 5 today.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey y'all, if you're not connected with Dommartini, what is your problem? He is in corporate management. He is super cool, and he is in the space of continuous improvement in a different way. And so I love having these unique perspectives of how we think about continuous improvement. And he's also going to be putting out a middle school novel coming up shortly. So he's got a lot of cool perspectives to provide to us. I'm so excited to have you, Dommartini. So give it to me straight. What is your CI in 5?
I so appreciate you, Sam, for having me. My CI 5 is actually in the form of an acronym: Envision, Determine, Analyze, and Make It Happen. Envision, just literally picturing in your head what it is in your mind that you're trying to accomplish in terms of improvement. What does it sound like, feel like, taste like, all the etc. Determine what it means and why you want to do it, just to get to the core, the nugget of it. Analyze how you're going to get there. What are the pros, the cons? Get down to the basics, and then like Nike's famous wisdom, wise words, just make it happen, Captain. Just do it. So.
Well, all right. Give me some more color on this, a story or something that where this is kind of like been drilled in or made clear to you as to what continuous improvement is for you.
So the acronym, which actually, if you spell it, it's pronounced EDAM or EDAM. And I actually don't just use it on myself. I use it on people, anybody I meet and encounter. And so for me, when I was in education, one of my students, my 8th grader, it's a funny story, he was really nervous about asking one of his female classmates out to the prom. And so he came to me and he trusted me with his, vulnerability. And so I literally walked him through EDAM. And when I got to the end to make it happen, I said, either you can ask her today, you can ask her tomorrow, you can set up to ask her the day before the prom, but just make it happen. So he did actually follow through with it, and he got rejected, unfortunately. But he told me something that I really appreciated, and it inspired me. He's like, look, even though I got rejected, I really appreciate, you giving me the courage to actually go through with this. I was paralyzed. I didn't know how to get to that point. So yeah, that was a good moment for me as a teacher.
For someone in continuous improvement that's just kind of starting off and they need some tips or something to kind of get them shot off and going, what kind of advice would you give them?
Be the idiot in the room. What in the world? Like, what the heck? I've never heard that before. So I have an author who I follow a lot. I have 2 of his books, Simon Sinek. And he has a quote that I love, man. It says, if you don't understand something, ask someone to explain it to you in a different way. Try to say it back to them in your own words to see if you got it right. And if you still don't understand, odds are somebody else around you doesn't understand it either. And so being the idiot in the room could end up being an act of service for others. And so the biggest thing that I literally tell people is I do it myself. I have no problem. I will ask some more until I am satisfied that I understood exactly what was conveyed to me. And so that helps me to continue my continuous improvement as well. So.
Well, that's genius. I love it. So what about folks who may be practicing continuous improvement for a while, or they're just kind of stuck and thinking about improvement in their own lives? What kind of advice would you give to them to spark that back up in them?
So I also use another, not want to say acronym, but cliche that we use a lot. One of them is stop, drop, and roll. And I'm not referring to what you do when there's a fire. But what I mean by that is you stop whatever it is that you're trying to lean into or continuously improve within yourself. Don't just drop all expectations and anticipations that you built up in your mind and your psyche regarding this continuous improvement practice or whatever it is, whatever strategy you're trying to do, and literally just roll with the flow of what's going on around you. Sometimes continuous improvement doesn't look the same for everyone, and that's all right. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that,
For someone like about myself who's been in it a few years, you can just get so caught up and spin on it versus just being present and then, the things just kind of come at you and happen naturally. So that's super cool.
Right.
So tell me, what brings you the most joy about improvement and continuous improvement in your own work?
The biggest thing that brings me joy, or just the appreciation of continuously improving myself, is expecting the unexpected. I liken it to an analogy that I created, and that's if you're walking along a path one day in the forest and you find a seed. You don't know quite exactly what kind of seed it is, so you just decide to plant it. You provide the necessary provisions it needs, food, the water, the sun, all that good stuff. And from time to time, you check on the seed. So the first time you check it, you see a tiny little budding sprout, and then you leave, you come back, you check on it again, and then now the sprout is now knee high. It's got a strong stem, and then you leave and you go back, you check on it again. Now it's taller than you. It's got blooms and it's got fruits bearing fruits. That's how I look at continuous improvement. You're constantly removing yourself and coming back to yourself again to see how you've grown, if that makes sense.
So that's beautiful. Wow, you've dropped some real good nuggets on us here today on CI&5. So you want some of this wisdom in your life, so connect with Dommartini on LinkedIn. We'll provide the link, of course. And it's been so much fun here, Dommartini, to get to know you more and your insights on CI. So thank you again for being here with us on CI&5.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us for CI&5, the place to get your shot of inspiration and wisdom to move you forward on your continuous improvement journey. And for more inspiration, join the Live on Purpose LinkedIn group. We are a diverse community that supports each other to find and live out our purpose every day. We would love to add your voice to our family. Join now by clicking the link in today's post. Until next time, when we invite another one of your favorite lean thinkers to share their CI&5, stay calm and Kaizen.